Hi, I'm Empty Pockets and welcome to Pockets World. In this episode of the Small House Compact Base series, I'm hoping to get the house built. But before we cover that, I've been around the local area and done the map, as you can see on the wall. And there's a village down on the right hand side there. I may actually take a look at that later on. I've also made a few changes. The stasis chamber, I had to move that because I looked it up and the actual stasis chamber has to be in the same chunk as you want the farm working from. So that's been moved. I've kept the door in place, but there's nothing in there. And I've changed my farm out for an enchanting setup. I'll show you that now. The reason I've changed this out is because I'm going to redesign my mud farm so it can either do small amounts or large amounts and also clay. I'm in the process of designing that, so once it's done I will do a tutorial on it. As is, it's just a basic enchanting setup. I've got my grindstone, my anvil, my enchanting table and stuff. There's nothing special to it, it's just been slung in there. I've also put in candles and whatnot here, but this is the village I was talking about. So let's go up, and I've obviously taken the switch out to put candles in there. Up here I've put in the floor. This is again more storage is here. This is going to be a water source for filling buckets as well as bottles if you need to. And I'll put two hoppers into this barrel. This is going to have the fire, this is going to have the smoker, so all the goods go into this. Close that. The village is down that way somewhere, over there. So let's get the materials I need for the house. Let's start by filling this in. This is a step, this is a step, so if I put water there and water under that step, that comes into a water source. All I've got to do then is put in a slab. That's the infinite water source done. So all you need to do is get a bucket and fill it up, and that's it. Right, in the corners I need some logs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. So it should be 4 high off like that. So that's 5 logs in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, something like that. I can always chop them off later if it's too tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this section here, we want the next log. This is the savannah where I originally built this house, and I used stripped acacia wood. So that's why I'm doing it orange. If it's outside the savannah, then I'll use just the logs. That's that one. And we want to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Leave the space for a window. Leave another space for a window. And another space for a window. That's the ground floor walls in. We now need some windows. Did I get them? Yes. Did. Window there, window there. I prefer using the fence posts for windows rather than glass these days. I don't know why. It depends on the build. So there's always an option. I'll need brick in here. One there, one there, one there. And I'll take that up one. Yeah, I'll take that up one. I'll need brick there, there. bring this right up so you don't need to worry too much. You can always chop it down later. We want a brick stair in there and a brick stair there. And the fire goes in there. The reason I put the stair there is because the smoke will get caught in that stair there and won't come billowing out, will make it look funny. Anything you cook on that fire will end up in the barrel here. The only problem is it needs a trapdoor in front of it, so otherwise it just bounces all over the place. I usually use the acacia trapdoor, but there's no reason you can't use something else. I think it's rather handy because it looks like it's got a handle there. Yeah. That will prevent your food from bouncing here, there and everywhere. Next I want 3 barrels, one there and one there. I also want one here. Facing upwards as usual. So that's now in place. I put in a stripped dark oak log there to make that look damp. What goes in there is a cauldron. So while we're at it, we'll put a tripwire hook there. Next up, let's put in the upper floor. Just the floor here. There, there, and there. And we need to do that again here, but this way. That's it, and to get up there you're going to need a piece of ladder here. I usually texture the jungle wood, but on this build I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as is, like a new build rather a worn out one. But the option is to texture it with a solid jungle wood block. Again, I need to bring this out. Now that's the upper floor done. Next is to put in some temporary blocks here along this line here. I usually lay logs like this to just break it up a bit. Totally up to you what you do with yours or how you do your build. This series is to show you, well, don't give up on your starter house basically, because you can always improve them, make them into a full base. Not sure I need that there. Again, temporary blocks. And chests, or should I say barrels. I believe that's it there. I then want a temporary block along there and some here. I'm going to have to squat for this, or sneak, whatever you like to call it. And on the front here I want trapdoors. And the same here. In fact, going to put those the opposite way round. That way, if you need to get to a barrel up there, you can. More barrels here. 3. That's that shelf, yeah. I'm going to put a window up here. You can vary this as much as you like. Could have a window there, you could have a window there, you could have them all joined. It's up to you. There's no specific way of doing this one. I'm just going to have a single one in there, match that one down there, and all that it. On this one here, because we don't want this showing outside, you go along here. Using whatever steps you like, or trim you like. Might help if I put it the right way around. So. Bring this up. There. And bring the log back. I usually leave this blank and put in the top to it like so. Oh, wrong one. Been using that there on every house design I've ever made since the early days. Now I could do it. The rest has varied a little bit. Put these in. That basically spawn proofs the roof, so no mobs will ever spawn up there. Now by the time I'm revamping the house, because I start off with the original in the first episode, by the time I'm revamping the house I've got all my materials sorted and a good supply at hand. So usually with this build I use the nether brick blocks, like the red ones. I believe you need 2 nether wall and 2 bricks to make it. as I said, we're doing a new house, new build, so there's no texturing involved in this one. I'm wondering, yes I can. I'll make that a fully fledged window. I'll put that that way, and that one that way. I actually look a little better. Yeah, I like that. You take a look inside. Yeah, that'd do fine. Now for this side. Now these two, here and here, need to be stairs. That's the roof complete. I need to step up there, or a solid block, it doesn't matter which, and I want to break this up a bit. Want the barrel there. The barrel there. That finishes that little bit off for a minute. I want to put in our ceiling here. That's it. As I said, you can vary the windows here, so up to you what you do. Sometimes I put two in, sometimes I have a double window and nothing this end, and so on. In here I want a chest, and a chest this side. I think that's the upstairs done. Of course I'll need to decorate it. Next up is the post. Let's get these in. There and there. In here, as you do this, oops, I've done the other side, the other end first, shouldn't I? Maybe running back and forwards. Goes there. Goes there. The next task is to build the lean-to here. So let's do that. Want a wall there and a wall there. Mud brick wall that is. Want to get on top of that and go up 3 with wooden, with dark oak or whatever fence post you're using. And across the top of that, I want to put in some fence gates all the way to there, and the same again this side. And don't want to do that. Better. I know that joins up there, but that's not a problem. And across the front. And again to these sides here. Now usually, if I'm in survival, not hardcore survival, I will switch it into creative to lower these because I think it looks better. Like so, that looks better than that, so yeah, that's why I do it. Just little tricks like that make a build look better, I think. And you can do the same with this front one here. Although if you update this block or this gate or this gate, that will pop back up, but it's easily solved by getting a stick and doing it again. Next I want to put in the roof to this. Now before I actually do that I want to put in some leaves. I use azalea leaves in Savannah, Desert, or just those two, because all the other leaves look pretty hideous in those two biomes. Other biomes, use what you like. Then stick campfires in, and put them out again. While we're at it, we'll stick the one on top here. Again, I use the acacia trapdoors because I think they look better on this build. Stick that in there. I might as well turn that into a signal fire. Right, that will go up high now, so I can see that miles off. Yeah, there. Oh, that went. Yeah, might have done. Yeah, I'll check it later. Anyway, that's the house built. Now I've just got to decorate and add in any pieces outside, starting with my bone mill generator, which will go here. I believe it's one there. That's right. So I'll get the parts from that and bring it back in. Let's jump into the hole and get this thing built. This is the input chest. This is the output chest. I'll need my hopper line down here. Into there. And we want to put one there facing that way. To this I want my composter. And down here I want my droppers. Out of this hopper at the bottom here I want to put in a comparator, and right next to it, going the opposite way into the bottom dropper, I want a repeater. Don't need to worry about the ticks. In front of the comparator I need a block with redstone on top of that. Another block next to the redstone with a redstone torch coming out of that. And that's it. That's the build. Now this is the third time of me doing this and I forgot to put in that block there. It wasn't working. So hopefully this time it will work. We'll stick this block in there and wait for a result. And as you can see, we've already got a piece of bone meal come up. So yes, it's working. We can cover this up. That's our bone meal generator. Don't think there's any other redstone to put in this, unless I can think of something else along the way. So I'm going to decorate this the way I usually do. When you decorate your place, you have your own unique way of doing it, so I'm not going to bore you with the details of that, but I will bring you back in once it's done. I've now finished decorating the build. We'll start outside here. Obviously just area of junk, hiding the bone meal generator. You can still access it, so it's not real a major problem. Just got to point in the right direction. A couple of stacks of logs, some hay, plant, empty pot, stuff like that. This is a reversed bookshelf. I think they make great looking crates. In here we've got our missing tables along with some armour and glass furnace. That feeds into here. Bare chest. Around the back I've put in a rubbish bag, another pot with a dandelion, and I've got Toast the rabbit in there. Around here I'll put a bee's nest up there. Instead of putting flowers up here like I usually do, I thought I'd put in the new shelves. Actually looks quite good, I think. Again, storage. This one's glass bottles, this one's logs, the rest can be used as is. Another stack of logs, a couple of pots, unused armour stand. Around this side, same sort of thing, just basically pile of junk. I've put in my chicken shed up above. Although I'm collecting some eggs, I'm not specifically worried too much about that. But I thought, oh, well, it actually looks quite good on my hardcore world. I'll put it in here. Again, I've got my cocoa beans, spare barrel, which I can put them in, I guess. Chickens. Around the front here, I'll put in the copper golems. Really, really stuck ones, they're statues, so I'm quite happy with them. I've been looking for something. I usually put pots on there and it makes a pleasant change. And I did forget to put these bits on, so I've done that and lit up the area a bit. Inside, change that about a bit. Let's close that door. I believe a bee flew in. I've got another brewing stand. I don't intend using that up here. It's just for a cup of coffee. And a steak on the oven. A wash basin. Up here I'll put a clock. Here is storage again. My usual pickaxe and axe. Here I'll put in a treasure map. Yes, I'm on a world that I can get a treasure map on. So I'll put that in there. I'll put my lectern and book here with a copper chest. I actually quite like them as well. Upstairs, usual stuff. I'll put in a jukebox up here along with the parrot and an ender chest. Put curtains up, as you can see. Here and down there, I believe. I should have put one there. A minute, I'll do that now. If I can. Yes, I can. Yep, that's curtains up. Again, storage, bookshelves. Now here I've got more storage and my view. I didn't do too much downstairs. Just added a couple of armour stands with armour on. And put in some frames. Put items in. This hasn't changed. And down here done the same with the armour stand there and put in frames to put items in. I was going to put some bits on this corner but I think it's going to look a bit crowded if I do, so I'm going to leave the basement as is now. And that is the house built. So that wraps it up for this episode, and indeed the series. I will be following on with another series sometime in the new year. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, certainly make some comments, and consider subscribing. If you've not liked either the series or this episode, consider subscribing anyway, because I look forward to the day that I actually make something you enjoy. Until then, all take care. Bye.